John Size, you're four-handed in the Hong Kong International Sprint. HKIR prawn will be the shortest of those in the market. What's your expectations of him? He seems like he has an upward plane in his form. Can he continue that to win the race?
Yeah, well, his strike rate sort of suggests that he's got more in him. He's won 9 out of 10, which is quite unusual. So you wouldn't be expecting that he'd stop at that. He probably still got some improvement in him. Even though it's a set weight race and it's his toughest test, he'll still sort of come up to the mark, I think.
How tactically versatile is he in your eyes? He's obviously got a lot of early speed to be able to take positions depending on draws and whatnot.
Well, we've trialled him in a different way sometimes to try and get him used to the prospect that he may not be able to lead in a race, or we don't want him to. And he seems to do everything perfectly. If you watch his last trial at Sha Tin and the previous one, you'll see that he's very easy to ride in a race. He settles quite nicely. He'll go any speed you want him to go. He's probably typical of a very good horse. They do everything correctly.
You've got Beat the Clock as well. He's pretty well named because he can cut out a sectional, but to do that often he's coming from or giving other runners a start. What do you expect from him on Sunday?
Yeah, well, he can run a really fast section, and that's hard to deal with if you're a sprinter that's getting tired. You're just a sitting duck for him, So he's never actually fought out a finish and won a race, but he just appears at the end of a race, and he can grab him on the line if everything works well for him.
DB Pin is a horse that you found an issue with earlier on in the year. He's a New Zealand bred horse that's shown a lot of ability. It says 9th on the form guide for his resuming run, but was his run a lot better than the finishing position in itself?
Well, the run was good for him in his that particular stage of his preparation. He's beaten 4 lengths, and he felt good. He raced well. He picked up well. He pulled up well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he improved dramatically on that.
And do you think that necessary improvement could have him beat, say, a HKIR prawn?
That's possible. I mean, he's a Group 1 winner. And he beat Mr. Stunning the day he won that race. So that was after this event last year. So certainly he's already done it. So I mean, he could win the race.
Speaking of horses that have already done it, Victory has already done it at Group 1 level. Is he a horse that has you scratching your head with what he's doing on the track? Because what do you make of all of that?
No, he seems, well, obviously he's healthy and well at home. The only thing I could point to is probably that the track was a bit rain affected the day he won. So maybe he excels with some sort of rain around, which is forecast anyway. So, I mean, I wouldn't sell out on him. He's only a little horse, but he's got a big heart and a great record. He's run some very fast times in his career. He's a great little horse, so he could win, and that wouldn't actually surprise anybody.
On Sunday also sees the reunification of John Size and Joe Moreira, which signals a new partnership. How excited are you to have him as your retained rider?
Yeah, well, that's certainly going to be another phase that we have to deal with. This is the way he's come back to Hong Kong as a retained jockey, so we'll just have to make the most of it, and I hope that I can produce the horses that'll satisfy him. That's my great responsibility, I'm afraid.
And then for him to ride them to your satisfaction as well. You have got a big team in, and obviously a very high quality team. There's a horse that I've noticed there called Nakoni Express that has had a start in Hong Kong and very much caught the eye. How much has he come on from that?
Well, we'll find out Sunday if he's improved on the run, but he's done everything right. He looks good and he's trained well. So 1400 metres at Sha Tin, if that's his race, he'll probably go better. But we find out after we start racing them and have a few runs where they're best suited.